Okay, today we'll see how to change the structure of a table, like how to add a column, how to drop a column, and also we'll see how to create other objects. Okay. So can any one of you tell me, if I want to see what are the objects existing under Scott, which view will show me the objects which are existing under Scott user?
They show EMP tables.
I want to see the tables which are present under Scott user.
Yeah. EMP department.
I know what are the tables present under it, but I want to know how to check that.
Select star from tab.
Select star from tab.
Yep.
Yep. So if you see here, these are the tables which are present in the Scout user. We can also go ahead and check that using select table underscore name from user underscore tables. You need to remember these views. These are very important views. You will use almost like every day you'll use these views, which will store the metadata information. So all these views are very important to remember. So try to memorize these tables. So if you want to see what are the tables which are present under a specific user, you will query user underscore tables view. Now, for example, if I want to alter the emp underscore demo table structure. Okay, I want to add one more column to emp underscore demo table. So what I'll do, alter table emp underscore demo, add column name. For example, I want to add job space varchar2 of 20. So this is a query to alter or to add a column to the existing table. So it will be alter table, table name, add column name. After that, you have to specify what kind of data type you want to assign for that variable job, and also what will be the length of that variable. So once after adding the column, if you want to modify it, I want to modify the length of job. Instead of 30, I want to give it as 10. So what I'll do, alter table emp underscore demo, modify job varchar2 of 10. So this is the way we can modify the existing length. So if you want to change or increase or decrease the length of a variable, this is the way we will change it using modify option. Now, if you want to drop a column from a table, this is the way we'll drop a column. Alter table, table name, drop column, column name. Okay. And next, if you want to drop a table itself. So right now I want to drop a table called as emp underscore demo. So I can drop that using drop table emp underscore demo. So this will drop the table. But whenever you drop a table, it will be stored in the recycle bin. In the same way, whenever you delete a folder, it will be stored in the recycle bin for Windows operating system. In the same way, in the database also, whenever you are trying to drop a table, it will be stored in recycle bin. So if you want to see the table tables which are present in the recycle bin, you'll use show recycle bin command. So this will show you the table which was dropped and which is stored in the recycle bin. The original name of the table is emp underscore demo, and in the recycle bin the table name is bin something. So it's a auto generated table name, and it will also show you the object type and when it was dropped. So it was dropped on 17th April 8:39. So whenever you drop a table, it will be stored in the recycle bin. So if you want to restore the table from the recycle bin, we will use the command alter table rename to emp underscore demo. Okay. Okay, this I'll show you in the future classes when I will be teaching you about the flashback recovery. Even though if I show you how to restore from the recycle bin, you'll be get confused. So right now, so this is the table which is present in the recycle bin. Now, if you want to delete the table from recycle bin 2, then your command will be purge recycle bin. So this will delete the table from the recycle bin also. Purge recycle bin. Now, if I want to see the content of recycle bin, I'll not have anything. So this is a way we can remove the object from the recycle bin. Purge space recycle bin. Now, select table underscore name from user underscore tables. Okay. Now I have another table called as emp underscore demo underscore status. I want to drop that table also. Now instead of using drop table name, I will use option purge. So whenever I use purge option, it will be deleted from the recycle bin too. So it is equal to shift delete in Windows. It is a permanent delete. So once you drop a table using purge option, it cannot be restored back. So if you see, there is nothing in recycle bin, it's empty. So using purge, you can delete a table permanently. Okay. Next, we'll see about view. We saw what is a table, what is an index, and how to create them, and how to alter the structure, and how to drop the tables. Now we will see another object which is called as view. So do anyone of you know what is a view? Any idea?
View is like a view is a structure list, like a virtual table.
Okay. Any other thing?
They don't store the data. They store only query.
Yeah. Yeah. Almost
Like
correct.
a table.
It's almost correct. View is nothing but a query run against a table in order to fetch the information. So whenever you're trying to fetch an information from the view, actually internally a query will be executed to fetch the data from the table. So for example, you have a table and this table is with 3 columns. One is ename, second is with salary, and the third column is job. Now this table has 100 rows. Now an employee comes in and he's trying to check the salary of all the employees. But in a company, usually you need to check your salary, not the other salary, right? So if you want to get only the salary, if an employee is trying to fetch the information from the table, he has to get the salary of his own, but not the salary of others. If he is a president or he is a director, then he can see the salary of all the employees. But if he is a staff, I mean, like if he's on the lower level, or if he's not a subordinate, then he must see the salary of his own, but not the other salary. So in these cases, in order to restrict the information which is being fetched from the table, we will create a view. So whenever a user is trying to fetch the information from this table, what we'll do, we'll create for example, a Scott. User Scott is logging into the database and he's trying to fetch the information from this table. If he has to get only the salary of Scott user, then the command will be select star from EMP, or select salary from, or ename salary from EMP, where ename equal to Scott. This query will give the salary of only Scott employee, right? So what we'll do, we'll create a view, create view name. So I'll make it as emp underscore view, as select ename salary from EMP, where ename equal to Scott. So I'll create this view on top of EMP table, and then I'll give the view name EMP underscore view to the user. I'll not give EMP table name, I'll give a view name. So as a result, whenever Scott is trying to fetch the information about the employees, he will try to fetch it from EMP underscore view. And to select that, he uses a command select star from EMP underscore view. So the moment Oracle sees in the from clause, if there is a view, it actually internally runs a query, which is a select query. Select ename comma salary from EMP, where ename equal to Scott. So view is nothing but a query run against base table. So if you see here, the base table is EMP table, and it doesn't store any data. That means it doesn't consume any space. A view will not consume any space. It's just a query which will be running against a base object, and it will give the result back to the user. Okay, in order to restrict the information being retrieved to the user, we will create a view. Any questions?
In real time, how can we find that, I mean, which query it's running? Like, if I select some view, which query we can run, like, how can we know that?
What query internally it runs?
Yeah, I mean, in like, there is a view like EMP underscore view, but here we are giving the, formula like select ename and sal from EMP, where ename equals Scott. How can we know that which query is running in real time? Like,
end user will not know, but as a DBA, you can know what is the query which is running whenever you are fetching the information from the view. You can get the view definition.
Oh,
Yes, Mohan sir.
Yeah.
So just view, mean view is like a particular store the query, correct? But they store the like index value, index column also or what?
No, no. Why it needs to store an index column?
Just we not show the date, just we not check the just data only, right? We are just run the particular query. So they one query take a more time. So index is like, so can I create the index in view or what?
Why you want to create an index against a view?
No. I'm not an index. The index built in a view or not? That's my question.
Index built in a view?
Like whatever we create a view, right? So
Okay.
we are inside the we create the index or not?
I'm not getting you. Okay, take this example and tell me what you want.
Okay, suppose select one simple query, select star EMP salary from EMP where squat EM is equal to squat, right? There are a lot of like the data size is very too much size, right? So
Okay.
once we create the view, so that they show only for the like a particular query, right? After like they are take more time, so we just one create the one view like a one particular index for the like one columns. So they show the result very quickly. So we can like declare the index in the view. This is my question.
Wait. This is a view, right? So
Yes,
whenever you're fetching information from a view, internally a query will be executed, correct?
yes,
This
correct,
query is
correct, yes,
executed against the base table. Am I correct or not?
yes,
So
base table, yes,
if
yes.
you have an index on the base table itself, then that index will be used. So there is no need of creating an additional index.
They are not okay, index, okay.
It is similar to running a query against a base table, but the only thing is we are embedding the query into a view definition.
Okay.
So there is no need of creating an additional view. So as the select statement itself will run against the base table, and if the base table has the index, it will use the index in order to access the table.
Okay. This is my question. Okay.
Yeah. Clear, right?
Okay. Yeah, I'm clear. Thanks.
So if you want to see what internally happens, what is the internal query which is being executed? So actually there is a package called as dbms underscore metadata dot get underscore ddl. So using this package, we can get a definition of any of the object which is present in the Oracle database. For example, if you want to see how the table EMP is created, in that case, we will use this package and our command will be select star from dbms underscore metadata dot get underscore ddl table EMP from Dual. Using this command, you can get how the table is created. So you can directly get the DDL of the table. In a similar way, if you want to get the DDL of view, so the moment you run this query, you'll get the view definition and you can see what query is internally runs whenever you're trying to fetch the information using a view. So we'll go ahead and create this view first. Okay, now a view is created. If you want to see whenever you are trying to access the view internally what query it runs, you have to execute this query. It should be in caps. This will give you the view definition. Okay. So if you see here, it didn't, I mean like it was not able to display all the total command onto the screen. The reason is whenever you are using dbms underscore metadata dot get underscore ddl, the return type will be a long data type. So you need to set the long. So the like the way, I mean the way okay. The way you set the page size and the line size, you can also set the long size. So first, whenever you're using this package, in order to get the DDL of an object, we need to set the long. So set long space 40,000. That means display 40,000 characters whenever the return type is long data type. Then we will execute that query, and now you'll get the total DDL of the view. So once you get the DDL of the view, you will know what internally which query will run against the base table. Okay, these are you can retrieve that information. Clear, Shiva?
That's fine.
Now we can insert data into the view. Now for example, if you see here, select star from emp underscore view. I'm getting information only about Adams. That's fine. But if I want to insert a new row into the view, for example, this is the view emp underscore view, and I want to insert a new row. Insert into emp underscore view, ename salary values, okay. So it actually, if you see here, when I'm using an insert statement, it is actually trying to insert the row into the base table, which is emp table. But I was not able to succeed in insert a new row into the table. The reason is I am not inserting emp number value. As emp number is a primary key, we cannot give a null value for that emp number. So that is the reason why it errored out. So whenever you create a view, you can insert new rows into a view. It internally inserts the rows into base table. Okay. By default, a view will be a read-write view. That means you can also update the information present in the view, or you can also delete the information present in the view. But updating or deleting will internally deletes or updates rows from base table, not from the view, because view doesn't have any data. Is it clear? By default, a view will be a read-write view.
One question, Mohan. Like, I mean, if we insert that record like Mohan 100 and some emp number will give, it will insert the record in base table, right?
Yes.
So once if we run the select star from emp view,
still you'll get
only one record.
Still you'll get only one record.
Yeah, that's what my question. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'm clear. Yeah.
So if you see here, but you cannot insert a row with emp number column. The reason is emp underscore view doesn't have that column. Had I declared or had I created the view including that emp number column, then I would be able to insert a new row into the emp underscore view. So whenever you have primary key included into the view, then you can insert a row. So let us alter this view. Now I want to add another column into this view. So if I want to do that, I cannot alter a view definition. The only way you can alter the view is you need to drop the existing view and you need to recreate the view by adding one more column. So drop view emp underscore view, then create view emp underscore view as select emp number, ename salary from emp, where ename equal to Adams. Now I can insert. But if I select star from emp underscore view, I will get only Adams record, but not the Mohan record. Okay, using view also you can insert data into the base table.
Yeah.
Next, there is a view called as user underscore dependencies. So this will show you a view is dependent on which table. So right now we created a view and that view is based upon a table EMP, correct? So now I want to know the base table or the dependent objects which are present on EMP underscore view. So to get that, we will use a view called as user underscore dependencies. This is again a data dictionary view which will give you the information about the object. So select name, type, reference underscore owner, reference underscore name, from user underscore dependencies, where name equal to EMP. Okay, reference underscore name equal to sorry. So if you see here, the view EMP underscore view and view underscore EMP are dependent on EMP table. So by giving the parent object, if you want to know the objects which are dependent on a specific object, we will use user underscore dependencies use in order to get the dependencies. Okay. Now, if I try to delete the view, I'm trying to delete table itself, drop table EMP. Okay. The moment I drop this table EMP, what will be the status of the view? Because the view is based upon the base table EMP, I dropped the table. What will happen to the view? Any guess?
View will be available, but it won't retrieve any data, I think.
Yes. It will, no, whenever you try to fetch the information from the view, it will actually error out saying that the base table does not exist.
Okay.
So if you see here, view scott.emp underscore view has errors. Okay, it says the view has errors. Now, if you want to know what are the errors which are present or which are for this view, emp underscore view, you have to check user underscore errors. this is the view which will show you the errors which are present for a view. Again, this is another data dictionary view. So whenever I'm saying, please try to note it down or try to memorize because those views are very important. So this will show you the errors which are present against this view emp underscore view. So select name, line, text from user underscore views or user underscore errors where name equal to emp underscore view. Sorry. So if you see here on line 0 the error is tabular view does not exist. So the reason is the base table, we dropped the base table. So that is the reason why this view is invalid. So this is how you will check the errors for an invalid view. And if you want to know whether a view is valid or not, you have to check that in user underscore objects. We already saw user underscore tables will give you the information about the tables. User underscore indexes will give you the information about the indexes. And this is another view called as user underscore objects, which will give you the information about all the objects which are present under a specific user. Now, if I want to see whether the view is valid or not, then my command will be select object underscore name and status from user underscore objects, where object underscore name equal to emp underscore view. So if you see here, this view is invalid. So whenever the status is invalid, that means the view has errors. And using user underscore errors, we will check what caused the view to be invalid. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Now, if you want to create a read-only view, we already saw a view is a read-write view by default. Now, first, let me create emp table. Alter table. Yeah. Let me show you another thing. So whenever you're trying to create it, and now I'm trying to create a table emp. And at the same time, whenever when I'm creating the table, I want to select the information from another table while creating itself. So to do that, we will use ctas command. Ctas full form is create table as select star from. So what I will do here, create table emp as select star from emp3. So I'm not specifying any definition, what column should I have, and I'm not specifying anything. I'm just specifying the table name which I want to create. And this emp table will be created with the same structure as emp3, and all the data in the emp3 will be copied into emp table. Okay. Now if I do select count of star, this is another way of creating a table. So I have this many rows. Now I have to make the view valid. So let us first go ahead and check the status of the view. Now we have the emp table back, but we want to know whether the view is valid or invalid. Okay, still the view is invalid, but if I do select star from emp underscore view, we'll see what happens. See, I got the information back, correct? It has a repeated information. emp 100, I just copied emp table into emp 3000 times. So that is the reason why Adams was repeated that many times. Now, if you check the status of the view again, So whenever an object is invalid and you're trying to fetch, or whenever the object is invalid and you're trying to access the object, internally it will compile the object. So whenever the object is invalid and you're trying to access the object, Oracle will compile that object. So it will again check whether the base table exists or not. If the base table exists, it will automatically change the status to valid, and it will retrieve the information back from the base table and it will give it to the user. Now, if you want to manually compile a view, the command will be alter view name compile. So this statement will manually compile the view. Either you can access the view in order for Oracle to automatically compile the object, or else you can also manually compile the view using alter view name compile. So using this command we can compile the view manually. Okay, now we'll see how to create a read-only view. Oh, so if you want to create a read-only view, we'll use the option or clause with space read-only. Now, once you have the view in read-only, you cannot insert a new row into the base table. Insert into emp underscore view2 ename salary values Mohan 100. So this time it will not say a parent key violated or you are trying to insert a null value into the EMP number. It will straight away say you cannot perform a DML operation on a read-only view. Okay, this is the way we can create a read-only view. Any questions till now? You can also create a complex view by selecting the information from two or more tables. So in the create view definition itself, whenever you are specifying a query, you can also select information from multiple tables. So whenever you are trying to create a view on multiple tables, it is called as a complex view. Okay, this completes concepts about view. Now we'll see another database object which is called as a sequence. A sequence is it's an Oracle object. It doesn't consume any space. It is used in order to generate numbers in a sequence order. So we will see first how to create a sequence. So to create a sequence, the command will be create sequence name start with initial number, increment by frequency, max value, for example 100. So now if I want to create a sequence underscore demo, start with 1, increment by 2, max value 100. So this is how a sequence will be created. And once you create the sequence, first time whenever you are trying to get a value from the sequence number, you will get 1, because I am telling the sequence to start with number 1. Then once I get first value from that sequence, next value will be incremented by 2. That means I will get the value as 3. After that I'll get the value as 5. Like that it will increment by 2 until the max value. So if I specify the max value as 100, it will go till 100. Again it will come back to 1. Okay, and the sequences will be used whenever you are trying to insert data into the table. For example, if you take EMP number and employee number of the organization increments by 1. So if you are first joining in the company and if your employee number is 100, the next employee number may be 101. After that, the employee number may be 103. So if the employee number increases by 1, and every time you are trying to insert a row into the EMP table, you don't need to specify that value like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, because you don't want to keep track of how many employees are employed in the company. So you can just fetch the information from the sequence. So by fetching a value from the sequence, it will automatically insert a row into the table. So first we'll create a sequence and we'll see how to fetch the values from the sequence. Okay, give me a second. So first we'll see how to create a sequence, and then we'll see how to use this how to use this sequence in order to insert a row into the table. Okay. Max value should be 1 word. So I need to highlight the third line first. Okay. The third line is increment by 2. So I need to highlight fourth line. After that, I have to change max space value to max value. So these are we create a sequence. Max value is 1 word. Now, if you want to fetch the value from this sequence number, select sorry. So these are will fetch a value from the sequence number. So if you see here, demo sequence underscore demo dot next value give me 1. Now if I do it again, it will give me 3. It will give me 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. So it's like a number generated, and the number will be generated based upon how you increment the value. So whatever the value you specify, whenever you are getting an index, based upon that value it will increment. Now if I want to use this sequence in order to insert a row into EMP table, I'll use the insert command. Insert into EMP number, name, salary, values, sequence underscore demo dot next underscore dot next value from, sorry, that's it. This will give me an EMP number, and then ename will be now. If you want to see what value it has inserted, select start from EMP where ename equal to Sharma. So if you see here, the EMP number is 15. The reason was the sequence was incremented till 13. After that I used the sequence underscore demo dot next value again. So it will increment the value by 2 and it inserted 15. Okay. These are how a sequence will be created and how a sequence can be used while inserting a row into the table. Now, without incrementing the value, if you want to see the current value which is present in the sequence, you can get that using select sequence underscore demo dot current value from Jewel. This will give you the current value which is in the sequence. If you want to go for a next value, we'll give sequence name dot next val. Any questions? If you want to drop the sequence, the command will be drop sequence name. This will drop a sequence. Do you have any questions till now?
No, Mohan.
Okay. So this will complete the SQL basics part. So I want you guys to practice, and then I'll start Oracle architecture from on Saturday. So that will start our DBA classes. Till now, whatever I taught, those are SQL basics. So from Saturday, I will start the DBA class. Okay. So
Okay.
on Saturday, I will give you a brief demonstration of Oracle architecture.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay then. Bye. Good night. I'll upload this video and yesterday's videos also together.
Yeah, sure.
Okay then. Yeah. Ashish,
Thank you,
if you see actually నేను డౌన్లోడ్ పెట్టాను, అది అప్లోడ్ పెట్టాను, ఇంకా 5 hours చూపిస్తుంది. అది ప్రాబ్లం. చూసినా స్క్రీన్ పైన కింద చూడు, అప్లోడింగ్ ఫైల్ 5 hours left. యా ఓకే చలో మరి. యా బై.
Yeah.
Well.